Hey everyone, this is Snark with Snark's Domain, and we are going to be testing out some Fehonda LTP65 once we apply it to the card. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm having a pretty good day. Went to work for a little bit, came back home. Looks like I'll be probably home tomorrow as well, and then I'll most likely be gone for about I don't know, 5-6 days. Let me know if the audio sounds okay. I was playing around with the filters a little bit and boosted up the mid volume a touch. I got rid of a small boost to the lows, because I probably don't need that. I do have a fairly deep voice, so hopefully it sounds decent on like cell phones and stuff, because I took the advice of oh my goodness, my mind's gonna go blank, Mr. Serban, I think it was, and I listened to one of my videos on my phone, and it was really hard to make out my voice, especially with the music playing. So hopefully this is a bit better. It's a work in progress, probably, obviously, so I am not a sound tech, so I got this far from mostly YouTube videos. But this stuff's good. The LTP81, it's really good. I don't know what's gonna happen here. It might be the top putty, it might be the second top putty. I do not think it'll take third place. It'll be first or second. Ventinky, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Raul Alvarez Fernandez, sorry. Audio seems working fine. Watching from a smartphone. Nice. That's good. Let me know if you guys hear high-pitched fans in the background. I noticed when I boosted the mid a little bit, I could notice it a bit more. I've also increased the NVIDIA broadcast noise cancellation to 80%, whereas previously I had it at 50%. So sorry, I just heard some noise. I think one of my cats is downstairs. Okay, let's look at this putty. This stuff is looking pretty good. We'll zoom in here. So it's grippy enough. I'm happy with that. I was worried that it might not grip. You can see that pulling the card apart made this sort of press in. I can tell that this is all being pulled up. Let's see if I can you guys can see that a little bit. It's being, when I pull the card apart, so that looks good. We're going to definitely save this stuff. It's kind of annoying that right now it's only sold in 12-gram containers on AliExpress. You can get it in up to 18 grams on Alibaba, but and for a very competitive price, but shipping's not listed on that site, and you have to basically contact them to like sort out shipping. I like the consistency of this. It's still nice and soft. It holds together pretty good. Ooh, I don't want it to touch the paste though. I think we're okay. Of course, I gotta put it back in the large syringe, because we don't have an actual like tub for this stuff. It reminds me a lot of EVGA putty. It is very, very similar. Fehonda, is there something you're not telling me? They haven't told me anything. I emailed them last night, about 25 minutes into testing this stuff, because I could already tell it seemed pretty good that quickly. So we'll see if they get back to me, hopefully, at some point. It does have a slight granular texture, again, similar to what EVGA Putty had when it was still being sold. No, that's not going to work. Oh, Putty down. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work here. Oh no, it's airlocked. I'll deal with that later, as long as it's contained. All right, let's clean this bad boy up. Code String, how's it going? Good to see you. And we'll run the numbers once we get this card back together. We'll take a look at what the numbers say. I didn't actually buy any more of these wipes. Oh, sorry. I just realized. You guys can't see. There we go. I found some upstairs. So I took a little bundle of them from my wife. She doesn't know that. Hopefully she's not watching the stream right now. Hey honey, how's it going? Just stole your makeup remover pads. It's okay, I'll buy her some more at the same time that I buy myself a few stacks of these. I should probably buy them in bulk online or something. Although I suspect it would be just as cheap to buy them locally in bulk at like Walmart or something. Because they do a nice job of cleaning up fast. Code String, just another chill night at work. I hear that, man. Those are fun with a capital F, eh? Actually, I don't mind slow nights every once in a while, or slow days, but they do tend to go a little longer. It's those days when you're like working so busy that the end of the day just sort of creeps up on you, which is a nice thing. But hey, that's why we're hanging out on stream right now. Hopefully I can use up, I don't know, 40 minutes of your time and make your day go by with some cool news about Putty. And that being that Fehonda has arrived. I'm sure they were already here and I just didn't realize it. Fehonda actually goes by a slightly different name, which I can look up in a little while. As like the head company, and I think they've just simplified their brand name for English-speaking people, Anglophones, because we don't tend to pronounce things very well in other languages. But they've been in the business for 16 or so years, making thermal interface materials. I don't know how old this putty is. I think it's fairly recent, but I'll find out more as I can about that. Yeah, this is like way faster than using Q-tips. I forgot how fast these things were. Still gonna use Q-tips for detailed work though. Just got a little tiny little piece there. I think I just used one Q-tip only in 5 wipes, so it's not bad. let's reshape TGPP10. Let's get a clean one of these guys. Uh-oh. Just bumped something. I must have hit a button. There we go. It's just like a HP printer thing. I don't even have an HP printer. I should probably delete the software then. We did have an HP printer, but we tossed it out once it stopped working. I even tried cleaning the print head, doing everything. I took it apart somewhat, but it was pretty well seized with dried ink. You don't print often enough, then printers tend to do that. For work, I use a Canon TR150, which is a lightweight mobile printer. That's good, that folds up, good for in a backpack. And the ink it uses is kind of expensive, and little small tiny cartridges that only print, you know, not a whole lot of pages. And for the longest time I was like, why don't we just have you know, bigger printers that with cheaper ink? And then at one point we started buying ink for the that printer on Amazon, some like cheap refurbished ones that were just refilled with whatever kind of ink. And then our printer started gumming up on us. Then I found out that those little printers, the ink is special, and that's why it costs so much. It's good to like cold and hot temperatures. It's like a rugged ink. It's meant for all the abuses that printer ink would go through if it's sitting in a hot truck or on a cold winter night. You turn the thing on and the ink still flows, whereas regular ink doesn't do that. Can't handle the extremes. Okay, TGPP10's done. Let's load up a syringe before we go and do the paste. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did yesterday. I'm going to chop off the fronts of these syringes. A little scratch sticker. If you guys want, you can punch this into the Fehonda website. We have a, what is that? Get even closer, I think. 4507 8122 9536 1507. And there's the we'll take the sticker off in case you guys want to scan the barcode at some point later. That should scan, I think, for authenticity. Real-time authenticity, here we go. So I haven't scanned that sticker, so the first one too, it gets to see the little message where it's like, this is the first time. All right. So we are going to just kind of something like this, I think. Okay, this stuff is more of a white, less of a gray. This leads me to believe that it uses a different boosting agent than the LTP81. Ooh, that is way out of focus. Sorry, guys. My bad. Okay, I just chopped this thing off. But it's like white instead of the gray. It's an off-white, so they definitely use a different booster. I think that's my best guess. Anyways. I'm not going to squeeze that out yet. I'll cut the next one first. Make sure I don't get any little plastic bits. So this is too abrupt of a taper to be able to, you know, cut it to a different just diameter and still use the syringe. It's just it tapers all the way down to about smaller than 1/8 of an inch in about 3 millimeters. Yeah, so it's pretty abrupt. Not like these ones that are easy to customize anywhere from, I don't know, 4.5 millimeters all the way up to 7 millimeters, somewhere around there. And now we're gonna do something fun. Yeah, sorry Ventinky with the focus. It was not ideal. Okay, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's handle this stuff and see what it feels like. I guess that's the danger of not using autofocus, is that sometimes I'm out of focus. It's not ideal. Okay, it's soft. It's very soft. Probably they could, I guess they don't need to boost it up because they have two different products. They're not going to boost this one to then match the 81. This one would be, what, cheaper to make? If they were the same cost, they wouldn't bother making two. So this would be Fehonda's budget putty, I suppose. And they left it white, so it doesn't look like they added any coloring. Whereas, you know, I think a lot of the other putty manufacturers get it to here roughly in color. I don't know about the performance yet, and then they add a color just to add a little bit of pizzazz, which is, I don't know, I don't mind it. It's kind of like RGB, right? Some people like RGB fans and lights, other people don't. Well, I guess what matters most is performance, but as we've seen with quite a few colored putties, that doesn't seem to too negatively affect their performance. They seem pretty good, so I won't fault them for the color. I kind of like the fact that we got like pink and green and blue. Makes it fun. I could totally make an RGB putty job on a card. With the green, I would have the Helmseye HY256, and then blue would go layered T-Putty 607, and then pink I would probably go Upsiren UTP. I don't really have a red putty. Maybe JE would be the darkest, or possibly the Zezio. We're going to wipe the core, and then we will apply some paste. I think that's in focus, hey? It's pretty good. Cleanup was not bad on this putty, right? It left a light film that cleaned up easily. It didn't seem to, heat didn't seem to affect the putty. Like it didn't cure like that LTP15 from Sub-Zero 7, which I would probably not suggest putting on your video card. Just my 2 cents. But hey, you guys can put on whatever you like. You can even use K5 Pro if you're daring. MX4, here we go. Ooh, I put on way too much there. That's okay. It's not like we're trying to save the MX4. I have at least 60% left of a 45 gram tube of MX4. So it should last a good long time. That seems pretty good. Exactly, code string. Everybody does know that. Like it's we did the same joke for mining back in the Ethereum days. Everyone was like, everybody knows that RGB gives you 5 more mega hash. Yeah. Good times. All right, we've done all the TGPP10. We are ready. I'm just going to use this guy, chop it off. And then we'll get this card back together, and then we are going to crunch some fun numbers and update the test charts. Yeah, this stuff holds together well. You could definitely roll this in hand, and I wouldn't go to the expense of buying a syringe just for this stuff, or most of the putties. Unless you want to, you can. I have a theory about syringe versus rolled. So you see what happened there, where it blew a little air bubble out, and then I'm condensing it so that it's like butted up against each other. That wouldn't happen when you're rolling by hand. And also, as the putty drags out the nozzle tip, it comes out not perfectly smooth. I can see a slight porousness to the surface, and that's not bad. It's going to squish out, no problem. I'm not worried about necessarily air pockets. But I think when you roll this stuff by hand, you're getting it to be just really smooth and dense and no air bubbles. So I might be wrong on that, but that's how I think at this point. Not that I think this method is bad, I think I prefer rolling it in hand now. That is really just getting curvy. Okay, I'm gonna grab at least one glove. Yeah, it's going to work out good. We'll make up some proper labels later for those ones. Yeah, I like rolling by hand. It works good. It's cheaper, and as long as you've got really any of the top performing putties, they can all be rolled by hand. So, yeah, really, there's a method for however you prefer. Well, it's all personal preference. The putty you pick, the method you use, the fans you put into your computer. If we all made the same computer, it'd be pretty boring. Like, I remember back in the day making a whole bunch of computers for like media PCs for my family, and I just kept using the same case. At the time, it was a good case. It was an Antec Sonata 2 and Antec Sonata 3. I still have two of them sitting around. I should do some airflow mods to those. Have a little like sleeper blacked out PC. That'd be kind of fun. All right, let's do the, well, make sure this is nice and clean. Do the tilt test. Yeah, looking good. It's the same color as TGPP10, but it's much softer. Yeah, they look very similar in color. I'm very confident it's not TGPP10. You guys are just gonna have to trust me on that one. Or who knows, maybe I'm in it for a surprise. Maybe it's the same performance. That'd be pretty funny if it was. I'd probably have to send a few emails if that was the case. There's a bit of putty on the threads, so I just wanted to get rid of that. There we go. So you guys know how I was getting a lot of crashes with the LTP15 from Sub-Zero during the Furmark tests, and I think that was stability issues based on thermals a little bit. Mining is more brutal than Furmark, which we know, or at least for the VRAM, based on the thermals. But it's more resilient. It doesn't crash as easy. It takes quite a bit to get mining software to crash, and it'll just keep restarting. It'll like pause, stop the miner, restart. It's designed to keep going or try to keep going. Whereas when Furmark encounters an error, it stops. So yeah, that's, I think, more than anything, if you're buying a used video card and you suspect that it was used for mining, which would be most or many 30 series NVIDIA cards, test the thermals and see what the VRAM's doing, and then run Furmark and see if it crashes. And maybe it's just hot VRAM and it just needs pads replaced. But ideally, if you're buying a used card, the person will say, I've replaced the pads and kept thermals in check, and, you know, lets you test them out and see that thermals are still good. Then you're going to know that the card didn't just keep crashing mining software and then it stopped started over and over again, which doesn't seem like it'd be a great thing to do for a card. Okay, that's the card back together. And we're gonna wipe PCI Express connector as always. And Tinky says, sometimes sellers leave mining V-BIOS in the GPUs. Oh, probably for 5700 XTs and 5700s. And Vega 56s. I'm trying to think of another one that uses a modded BIOS. Yeah, there's definitely a few cards out there that got either more efficient or more hash rate with modded BIOS. There's definitely a few where it was more efficient and they were able to like undervolt it further. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a thing. Well, I know mining bad, but It's not like, yeah. I mean, so I obviously I mine and stuff, but the goal is to run the hardware in such a way that it does it efficiently as possible with power, because electricity is expensive, and also so that the card lasts a long time. Because if the card dies before it's paid for itself, then it's just not worth it. So rest assured, the larger mining farms, yeah, they like money, but they also want their hardware to last. So generally they're putting it in server cases with Delta fans. Sometimes they'll even deshroud the cards and take the stock fans off completely and just let Delta fans or put on some Noctua fans. Keep everything cool. All right, moment of truth. It's time for some numbers. Let's see how LTP81 does. Let me just close a window here. Close that one too. There we go. Display capture. That's the playlist we're listening to right now. If you guys see any songs you like, there you go. This is what I use to zoom in and the controls, how dark it is, whatever. Anyways, we don't need to see all that stuff right now. We are gonna go after these charts here and see what we can do. You had a RX 6800 come with mining VBIOS. Interesting. It caused some stability issues in games and stutter flashed the VBIOS with OG and it worked like a charm. Till it died after 2 weeks. Oh no, due to a self short. Like the card shorted itself out. It was like, I don't want to live. I already worked in the mines for years and now I have to play video games. That sucks that a card broke for you. I'm sorry that happened to you. I've been pretty fortunate. The only two cards I've had issues with are both R9 290Xs. When I tried to convert them from an AIO cooler to an air cooler. And I must not have put on whatever protective film was supposed to be between the cooler and the PCB in a couple spots. And they shorted out and a little component popped off. I then ordered 100 of those components because they were like, I don't know, a fraction of a cent or something like that. And then I attempted to solder one, and that made it clear to me that I didn't study up enough before I tried soldering. So I still have that card. I might be able to salvage it if I ever learn the ways of the hot soldering iron wand. But for now, I don't need those cards. They're not profitable, but I'll fix them eventually. So they're kind of neat. They've got 512-bit bus. Here we go. Let's replace this stuff with data. Yeah, it's no fun that the card died on you. That sucks. Look at that, eh? That is wild. So just off the top of my head, this is gonna be in first place, I think, on the putty chart. Yeah, pretty sure. And that's if, and like we'll use hour number 2 because that's. We'll hold on here. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've done. So we'll use hour number 2, but a longer test. It's looking, oh man, it's really looking like 47 and a half, not 48 and a half. I am kind of tempted just to use a different hour. I think these are more representative of its performance. But I have used hour number 2 consistently for all the testing for now. We're going to get more accurate testing when I use a AMD card. Yeah, I'm gonna, like those two, I've got 2 of them I need to basically solder on the component. Oh, not responding. I'm just gonna give it a second here. Excel is thinking. I must have clicked a button too many times. Okay, so that's... Oh, that just moved over here. Interesting. I don't know why it just moved a tab, but let's do this sheet as well. Control A, Control F. You can see I ran these for quite a while on the test bench, not just 2 hours. I was worried that the same thing was going to happen, like there'd be connectivity issues or something with the server, and I just wanted to make sure I'd have a usable hour. So, plus I really wanted to stress this up. After 25 minutes of watching this, I was like, this is going to be good. Let's give it a good run for its money and see how it performs. I always just like to glance at these, make sure everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, pretty consistent numbers there. It's going to be nice once we have 0.1 resolution. I'm really looking forward to that. It's the name of the store is longer, but it is the Fehonda store on AliExpress, which if you go to the Fehonda website, and then you'll be able to search out like where you can buy the stuff, and it does list AliExpress. You might even be able to click on your country and it should maybe take you to AliExpress, to the actual store, hopefully. I would probably just buy it from the official store. I think that's probably the only place you can buy it right now, on AliExpress. Okay, let's go. What do you guys think? I'm tempted to... Okay, I'll tell you, I was sitting in front of my computer, which... Ooh, I don't know, that's like a foot away. 2 feet away. I'm gonna use this for now, but we're gonna retest these soon. It's still gonna be in first place no matter what. And I should go back and look at the Upsiren UTP8 test and see what the long-term testing is on that as well. We'll use this for now, but it's... I don't know. No, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm using hour number 6 for this one. What's the average here? 47.55. Decision. That's like 1 degree. That's pretty significant. The fact that it was, for the first hour, the warm-up hour, it was 48, and then it went up and then back down. And the ambient wasn't even changed that much. I don't want to use this hour. That's kind of a bit of an outlier. I'm using that logic. I'm going to use hour number 4. It's a good buddy. We should do it the honor by showing the most accurate numbers possible. And we'll get even better accuracy in the future. So then I ran this one overnight, got it up and running, and then left the computer going. So these ones probably fairly stable. It's interesting though, hour number 2 is also a bit warmer on this one. But I'm going to use that hour anyways. It's still a good number. And kapow. Yeah. So how did this do? 47.6. Wow. That is incredible. Look at that, guys. That is setting the bar high. That's awesome. It's a good time for thermal putty right now. It's definitely a good time. Look at those. Those are all relatively similar ambience. This is actually a hotter ambient than the ones below it. We do account for that. And I think my test apparatus or methodology is working quite well to account for ambient temperature. Really the only struggle is the 2 degree resolution for the memory junction temperature. But that's wild. You know, I bought this stuff and I was like, all right, like, you know, new putty, test it out, see how it does. I don't always have tons of time to like read up on each brand before I test it. So this was, for me, this was a bit out of like left field, you know. I was expecting, you know, get a new putty, put it in the chart somewhere, wherever it goes. That's awesome that we have a new top putty, performance-wise, for sure. That's pretty neat. Longevity, I mean, Fehonda's been in business for 16 years, so it's not like that should be, yeah, I wouldn't expect issues with it that way, I don't think. I'll have to fix that line there. Line color. There we go. And, oh, sorry, I should probably get rid of that one. Kapow, 55.9, look at that. That is like 83.5 degrees Celsius, running at 310 watts with an overclock. That's like, is anyone else out there who happens to be mining a Kapow algorithm on an NVIDIA card with overclocked VRAM and not even doing it efficiently, just giving it like the max TDP of the card? Is anyone expecting temperatures like that? Because if you are, good luck unless you're running shims, or Putty, if you've joined Team Putty already. Anyone can join Team Putty. There's no sign up required. There's no password to say. It's you join Team Putty when you've switched to and believe in thermal putty working good for your card. That's basic. Anyone can join if they want. That's wild, guys. I'm going to update this chart and I'll post these to the Google Drive and also to the Discord. And if you guys want to get notified, well, I'm sure the 4 of you still here are probably already signed up to the Discord. But yeah, I'll probably post a sneak peek of LTP65 in the next half hour or so. Or if I don't post something, I'll at least say looks good or bad or whatever. Other than that, I think that's all I had for tonight. Let's get this card back up and running and code string. So okay, what's the difference here? I'm going to bring up the calculator. This is wild. It was throttled, but oh, that's the boron nitride, sorry. That wasn't even designed to be a putty in the first place. K5, so 82.8. 82.8 minus 47.6. So yeah, there's a 35.2 degree delta between the best and the worst performing putties. Is wild. Guys, I think that's it for tonight. Pretty exciting times. And there's some more putties out there to test. Ones from brands that we haven't tested yet, so I need to get some more of those on the way. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks again for tuning in. You guys have a great night. And if you're new to thermal putty out there, you're watching this later, welcome to the rabbit hole that is thermal putty. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. Cheers, guys. You have a good night.